Does anybody have a moment or an experience at their old company where that kind of was the aha of like, hey, I need to do something different?
Yeah, for me, it wasn't exactly the office. It was sort of the opposite. It was at home, putting one of my kids to bed one night, which is something I didn't get to do a lot, whether I was coming home late from traveling or whatever it was. And so, just being able to have that tender moment with the child made me think, I want to keep doing this. So I have to switch jobs to keep this lifestyle. So I pulled the trigger.
So talk me through, how do you make that tough decision to change your job? What factors do you consider primarily to make that big change? Can a couple people just chime in here?
I think for me, with the pandemic hitting, I felt like a lot of organizations weren't considering their employees or even talking to them about it, about how they felt about coming back into the office, if they wanted to be full-time or like a flexible work environment. It's just kind of a lack of connectivity between senior leadership and the rest of the organization kind of was a deciding factor for me.
They made people come back into the office even at the height of that first winter. And I have family with health conditions that I wanted to be able to quarantine and go back home and see them safely. And I wasn't going to be able to do that working there.
And I spent the entire time writing policy about how people should interact, how our employees should interact with customers. And here I was in the comfort of my home, or at the time, my RV in the driveway, because we didn't have any room in our house. It was so difficult. It was, I couldn't take it anymore. After a year and a half of it, I had to leave when I saw that nothing was changing. We were putting our employees at risk, but they were doing whatever they could to stay in business, because they made more money in 2020 and in 2021 than they had made in the 50 years previous.
I'm able to take both of my kids to school, pick them up, and I don't feel the pressure of me stepping away from work or whatever for 15 or 20 minutes to take my kids to school, because most of the folks are doing that as well. And if I was going into the office, would not have the opportunity to do so. But like somebody said earlier, I'm able to maximize my time at home, whether it's my wife, she's a speech therapist at a school district, so she goes into work every day. So I'm able to put a load of laundry in, maybe take some stuff out the freezer for dinner.
Yeah, the business that I worked for at the time, we had no say in whether or not we were going back into the office. During the time when everything was completely shut down, we did everything from work. We did everything from home. If anyone needed anything, we would go in. But when they decided to have people going back into the office, and my team specifically was one of the only teams that actually had to go into the office. So we were ordered to go back into the office because we're tech support. So we had to retrieve items and troubleshoot and things like that. And so there was no specific conversation with our team at all in regards to, how we felt about that. They just made the mandate that, would happen.
For me, there was a pretty good pay increase, and the responsibilities were greater than what I had previously. So, looking back from where I was, I definitely felt even more, underutilized from where I was, and just, very, very fortunate that I, came across this opportunity to, be able to, contribute more to the, company that I'm now a part of, and could see a, longer term future with as a result of this change.